Good evening. How is the sound at DBZ? Can you hear okay? Yes. At Hoenji, I think it's fine. If not, just turn up your hearing aids. It's so wonderful to be here together. The DBZ residents, Hoenji residents, and near residents. You know, everything is unprecedented. We've been using that word a lot. Unprecedented in this year of the novel coronavirus. We have come to know the Buddha's teachings on the 3 marks of existence: impermanence, suffering, no self. We have come to know them not as theory, but as lived, shared experience. This community acquired virus really brings home the fact that we are one interrelated, variegated organism with all our different sizes, shapes, colorations, ages, infirmities, cultures, languages, and histories. Some of us have become ill, and others may be sickened, yes. But what we all share unconditionally is the love that emanates from the threefold refuge: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We know that at this sacred time of Obon, there is not even 1/10 of an inch's difference between us in space and time. Yet we also know that most of you could not be physically present for this important annual commemoration. And by you, I mean the greater Sangha. So we had to find a new way to offer this sacred ceremony to our beloved community. We couldn't rely on anything that we've done in the past. This year's Obon demanded novel responses, creative adaptations, using the tools of technological invention to support a mystical service that goes far beyond the rational or scientific. So the residents at Daibosatsu Zendo, all of you went through a 2-week quarantine earlier in the year. The residents and I at the Zen Center of Syracuse, Hoenji, have been in seclusion as well. And we have all tested negative for COVID-19. So in these 2 Zendos, we have been able to perform this ceremony live, simultaneously, using a closed Zoom format and video to make it and my talk available to our Threefold Sangha from all over the world. With Friday evenings, opening fire, chanting Shinge, Heart Sutra, the spirits of our loved ones, teachers, and revered public figures were invited to the magic mountain of Daibosatsu. And after my talk this evening, lanterns bearing their names will once again be released on Beecher Lake with chanting of Namu Daibosatsu, joining with the boundlessness of Bodhisattva nature. In the sacred service of Obon, we express our gratitude to those who have given us life, guided us, inspired us, and encouraged us to give ourselves to something far greater than any narrow, self-preoccupied pursuits. Obon is a time of permeability between the spirit world and our present incarnation. It is a time of purification and transformation. As we do each year, we have chanted the great compassionate Dharani and Dai Sagaki, which means making limitless offerings to those in the hungry ghost condition. We have prayed that all beings may take refuge in the 3 treasures and awaken to supreme enlightenment. And our prayers have been carried aloft by the fragrance and smoke of our incense offerings. We've suffered many losses this year. Family members, beloved Sangha members, friends, inspiring leaders and teachers, young people killed by police violence. There have been explosions, accidents, lives taken out of despair, deaths from fire and flood and hunger, and from all the ways in which the climate crisis worsens. The losses due to COVID-19 are inconceivable, far beyond mere numbers, and occurring every moment of the day, all around the globe. This year is the 75th memorial of the nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It is also the 75th anniversary of my father's death during one of the final battles of World War II as his 746th Tank Battalion headed toward the Rhine River. And 1175 years ago, during the late Tang Dynasty, many of our great Zen ancestors were driven into the mountains and their temples destroyed after Emperor Wuzong initiated what he called the Great Anti-Buddhist Persecution. All of us are facing the vicissitudes of political oppression, illness, and the certainty of death. Indeed, we feel the piercing truth of impermanence. At the same time, Obon encourages us to investigate the essential matter of life, death, and to realize the inseparability of these seemingly different states. The vastness from which we come into existence and into which we pass away. As we chant in the Heart Sutra, no birth and death and no end to birth and death. Due to our fortunate karma, we have the rare gift of being born in human form. We have received this precious human life because of our parents, but also because of a long chain of countless beings stretching out behind them, like the jewels in Indra's net, spanning all time, all space. Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and enlightened masters have shown through their own lives, their own struggles, the possibilities within this human realm. We cannot squander this gift even for a moment. Buddhism teaches that there are 6 realms, one of which is that of the hungry ghosts who are hanging upside down and suffering terrible hunger and thirst that cannot be satisfied. But even in our present human incarnation, we can fall into the hungry ghost condition when we get caught up in old patterns of fear, selfishness, hostility, self-absorbed concerns, ignorantly seeing ourselves as separate entities, trying to protect me, myself, and I. We cut ourselves off from love and affection and become hungry ghosts hanging upside down. Clinging to upside down views, we churn about, grasping and confused, perpetuating our own suffering and the suffering of all those in our lives. We must notice at the first subtle signs that we are falling into the hungry ghost state of mind. And we must remind ourselves, it is as human beings that we can aspire to live as bodhisattvas, as human beings, that we can realize unconditional love, appreciate the beauty and wonder that surround us, and follow the 4 great vows. Tuning in to the great mystery of Obon. We purify our hearts and trust in the clear mirror mind that is our birthright. At this magical time, opening to the transformation within and around us. We can feel neediness turn to generosity, irritation, turn to compassion. And ignorance, turn to wisdom. Bowing in humble acknowledgement of our great debt to those who came before us. We give ourselves to the Dharma with a fervent heart and rededicate ourselves to walking the Buddha's endless path. Thank you for being here with me this evening. And thank you to all who receive this service later on via the great wonders of technology.